All right, so a real short video presentation today. We're going to wrap up Unit 5, the periodic table, as far as notes are concerned today, and we're going to do quite a few activities with this unit, which will carry us out through the end of the semester. So again, when you finish this video today, if you still have more time, you can go ahead and start working on tomorrow's assignment and check the pacing guide, okay? So Dmitry Mendeleev Mendeleev was the one that created the periodic table. And you know that by now. We've talked about the history of the periodic table, how he grouped the periodic table, and how true he was. And what I mean by true is accurate in today's standard is impressive. Okay? He grouped the periodic table based off increase in atomic mass, so the weight of elements that were discovered. And as he did this, he began to discover and find that families had similar chemical properties. And the really impressive thing about his original periodic table was that he left open spaces for new elements to be added, and he was pretty accurate with the spaces that he left. Using kind of knowledge and trends that he was discovering of the known elements led him to believe that there were elements that were unknown at the time. And he was able to predict which squares they would fit in, for instance, in his table. And that's pretty impressive, right? That's pretty impressive. And again, he was extremely accurate in his prediction of places where new elements will be found. All right, so a review on matter. And we talked about matter. So matter is composed of atoms and groups of atoms bonded together called molecules. Substances that are made from one type of atom are called pure substances. Substances that are made from one or more than one type of atom bonded together are called compounds. And you've had those two vocab terms before. It's just a review. Compounds that are combined physically but not chemically are called mixtures. So it's always good to review those, what a pure substance is, what a compound is, and what a mixture is. All right, so sodium is an element. Chlorine is an element. When sodium and chlorine bond, they make a compound called sodium chloride, and also known as table salt. Compounds have different properties than the elements that make them up. Table salt has a different property than sodium, which is an explosive metal when it's in water, and chlorine, which is a poisonous gas. And if you think back to one of the previous videos that you've watched by now, we talked about how two of the most reactive, most dangerous elements on the periodic table, put them together, and it creates a compound that all living things need in order to survive, which is salt. So it always has interested me to understand how these elements react, and to kind of see the difference in the compounds and the products that they make once they react with one another. Hydrogen is an element, and oxygen is an element. When hydrogen and oxygen bond, they make the compound water. When salt and water are combined, a mixture is created. Compounds and mixtures retain their individual properties. An example of this is the ocean is a mixture. Mixtures can be separated by physical means. Compounds can only be separated by chemical means. Elements are pure substances. When the subatomic particles of an element are separated from its atoms, it no longer retains the properties of that element. So when you take away protons, electrons, and neutrons and you separate it into individual things, it's no longer an element. It's no longer a pure substance. And that is the end of this, again, short little video to kind of wrap this up. Be sure you complete the form that goes with this and look for the assignments to go ahead and complete those to take you out through the end of the week. If you need anything, let me know. Thank you.